5 minutes late. I'm so sorry for that issue. Sometimes I have issues with it not launching on my computer, but can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Hopefully it's fine. I am so excited to have Sue on tonight. Thank you for hopping on and spending your very precious time with us and just pouring into us. You are one of the side sisters that I just look to anytime where maybe I'm like, I need to have like a, and I go and I dive into your stuff and I'm like, yep, that's the message that I needed. So I'm going to kind of bounce back and forth with you tonight, questions, but for those who might not know you, or give us a little bit of introduction. Who are you? Why did you choose Thrive, all that?
Yeah, hi you guys. Okay, so I'm Sue. Oh, sorry, you're propped up. Listen, anybody can do this business, okay? Even hot mess mamas. Okay. So I just love Amber, and we've been doing this for a long time. So we have some tips and things to share with you guys. And I've been doing this 4.5 years. I dabbled with the company for about 6 months before that. So I could say I'm doing this for about 5 years, network marketing in total. And guys, I just want to tell you, we are unmatched here. Like what I was with before was so different. And the reason that I really came over to Lavelle was the whole auto ship thing. Like I couldn't stand being with a company that forced our customers to order on auto ship to get their discount. And even no matter how many times I explained that to them, like I was so honest, like I'd be like, okay, look, but you have to order for 3 months or you're going to get a fee and all these things. They would always contact me like month 2 and be like, hey girl, you know, I don't have the money this month. And literally this other company would take out $50 from their bank account if they didn't order. And it was just like, it was so exhausting. I just like felt so bad for them. It always happened to me. I don't know why me, but like I would explain it to them and everything. And so when I saw this company that had no auto ships, the product was free. I wasn't going to get charged because again, with this other company, I was getting charged $100 or more every month just to run my business. So keep in mind, like I was getting these charges. I had to buy all my own product and I had to buy any product I sampled out. So here I am spending hundreds of dollars a month, literally. And then I'm telling my customers they have to run an auto ship. It was scary. So I was like, okay, I saw Katie. Okay, Harriet. So you know what I mean? I saw Katie talking about this business. I know. And that was one of her biggest things was like no auto ships, free product. And I'm like, I am in. Like, let me try a sample. I try to sample out. So guys, don't discredit the power of a sample. Okay. I try to sample out. Honestly, I wasn't a day one thriver because I took it wrong. I took it in like the middle of the day. I had a swing shift. I'm a nurse like Amber. And I took it like in the wrong order. I think I like took my shake and then my capsules and I didn't even put the patch on or something. I don't know. I didn't even feel it really. And then the next day I took it better and I felt it better. And the third day I felt it okay. But it was really the business that drew me in. And then of course, you guys know when you start taking the products right, you're going to feel it and you're going to feel amazing. So if obviously you're taking it right. So all of those things to say, samples are important, follow-ups are important, directions are important, but really it's just finding the right people. And I know I just went off on a tangent, Amber. I'm just really excited to be here, you guys. So just hear this, you know, you are earning money. Everything you're doing right now, you are earning money. You just haven't received it yet. And that's something me and Amber are going to talk about right now is we are in a building stage, but it doesn't matter. Everything we're doing today, we are earning money on. We just haven't received it yet. So we have to keep that in mind. I'm going to pop it over to you. And I know we're kind of going to go interview style back and forth, right?
Yeah. So thank you for that. What the differences are really talk on. I just talk on the fact that like I'm always a skeptic to the market. And I was like something's got my situation is like a little draining. But can we talk about okay, so we've been here a while. Okay, we've been here a hot minute. Here before there were even guides on the page. We even knew what our leaders didn't know what they were doing. It was a hot mess. But it was something that just like every single week. And I remember like I missed a Zoom. I never Wednesday night. I never missed like anything. I was constantly drawn to it. But can we go back to I'm just gonna call it the chapter 1 hustle. It's chapter 1 where it's ugly, it's messy, you don't know what you're doing. You're posting like Snapchat filters, like trying to figure like you're doing. But like sometimes that chapter 1, it really sucks, you guys. It literally does because it's so awkward. You're trying to figure it out. And at the same time, it might be quiet behind the scenes and you might not have people in your inbox and you kind of get discouraged in that moment. And so it take us back to like, how did you feel? And that chapter 1 is not just year 1. Like sometimes it lasts a long time for people. Sometimes it's quick, but like, do you remember that phase where you're just like figuring it out and what did that feel like?
Oh yeah, I definitely remember. And like Amber said, you know, for some people it's longer than others. And a lot of the people that come into this company and go fast, they were rock stars in other companies. They were going on company trips. They were earning thousands of dollars in other companies. So always keep that in mind in perspective when you're seeing other people win. Everyone has a building stage. And I want you, if you are doubting me, to go to one of our leaders' profile and scroll back down to 2014, 2013. They've been doing this 10 years, y'all. Scroll back down and see their posts back then. They were messy, right? Mine were messy. Amber's were messy. We were all messy. We just took messy action and we just kept on taking it and doing it until we learned how to do the right things. But I truly remember that time, you guys, where I had no results. I had $0 paychecks. People weren't reaching out. I didn't have a team. I was literally talking to the air. Like it just, I remember that season so strong. But what kept me going was vision, passion, and just understanding that it takes time, right? Once you, I think, settle that in your brain, it's kind of like you start to have fun with the journey. You start to put a little less pressure on yourself. And I just remember in that first building stage, that chapter 1 struggle, like she's talking about, it's survival, right? It's just like, you do what you can and you do the best you can and you show up to all the Zooms and you learn and you're a student and you kind of take that messy action. I mean, I get it. Like it's hard to get on social and be like, hey guys, make this income with me when you're not making an income. Like I get that, but you have to understand that like the facts remain that you will make an income. You know what I mean? And that's what you're offering to people is hope. Because look at even our leaders, even me, I can't sit here and get on social media and be like, hey guys, tomorrow I'm celebrating $100,000 in commissions. I can't do that, even though I am. Praise God. But I can't get on social media and say that. Our leaders can't get on social media and talk dollar amounts. So the amount that you've made does not matter at all. Like literally you have more of an advantage than we do because you are newer to this and you're more relatable. You can get on there and be like, hey guys, I just started this journey a year ago. I just started 6 months ago, 1 month ago, whatever it is. You know, I would love for you guys to get on this journey with me. Like, let's fail forward together. I'm not really 100% sure what I'm doing, but I have the best leadership and the best resources. And I want to show you how to do this with me. Like, will you hold my hand and let's do this journey together? Like get so vulnerable with people because that's what connects and relates with people. And you know, when it comes to like doubtful people, I know in the beginning my spouse was very like skeptical and I didn't have a lot of support from my friends and family, which is okay. Oftentimes you're not. But when that happens, or when people speak negativity into your business, it's going to happen. When you see trolls, when you see stuff on Google, on YouTube, I mean, even if you go to YouTube and you search, sorry guys, and you search network marketing on YouTube, you're going to see a lot of negative videos there and you're going to see some training videos there. You should go watch the trainings for sure. Don't watch the negative ones because it's going to mess with your mindset. And you have to know that you know this industry works. And the thing is, our leaders, they have no secret sauce. Time and consistency is all they did. And you can't sit here and say this business doesn't work when I'm sitting proof right in front of you. And I just told you what we've achieved. And M sits right in front of you once a week. Katie once a week, Lynn's once a week. They're all living proof that this works. And they have no.
Oh, I lost her a second, but she'll pop back on in a second. But one thing that I always think of anytime I'm having a hard time, or I'm just like, man, I've been here X amount of time. Cause that's like that time clock really plays with you in your head, especially when you see these other leaders. And like, let's say they've been with Lavelle for 3 years and you've been here almost 2, right? And you're just like, maybe you're whatever rank and they are at the top of the company and you're like, man, but like really, like Sue was saying, like they've been here for years just with a different company. And so it's different. Some people have more experience, some people don't. Some people have a lot more support, some people don't. But it's just beautiful. I feel like one of the things that keeps me going, honestly, is, and I know I've said this to you guys before, but like coming from healthcare and being like, I never saw anybody that I aspired to be in the hospital. Like I didn't want to always like be that person that was always like at the hospital, like staying late, picking up overtime because the team was drowning. Like I never wanted to be that person. And it wasn't until I stepped into this that I realized, holy moly, like these people are like success on a completely different level. Like success, they're walking strong in their faith. Like success, they have friendships that cannot be matched. They have success, meaning their marriage is unmatched.
Have any fruit snacks? I have nothing. You guys ate everything.
Oh, you guys hear me? But I feel like I've just seen so many people win in this arena that it's just like, I can't step out, right? Like, I'm not going to get out of the ring because I've seen so many people succeed in so many different levels of what success looks like, that I will never go back. But anyways, I'm not sure where we lost her. I may have to text her. No. Okay, we'll just wait for her for a second. Does anybody have any questions that you want me to ask her when she pops back on? And we'll kind of go from there. But that one, that chapter 1, it can be a really scary time and it can be a really discouraging time. And so if you're in that, I don't want you to like wallow in that. I don't want you to sit there and think that it's never going to get better, because it will get better. Because every time you show up the next day, you do another Zoom, you do an opportunity event, you go live about your business, you share your products in a different way, you get stronger. Each time you get stronger. I hate that she's not coming back on, you guys, but do you want to, we can turn this into like a little Q&A until she pops back on if you want. The questions that I had for her is really only something that she can, what's her schedule like with 5 kids? Yeah, right. Like, I want to know that too. That's one of my big questions I was going to ask her, like, how the heck are you managing that? But like, we all have our own level of chaos to some extent, right? And some days are worse than others. Like some days you're going to have more time, and some days, even when you have that time, you're going to sabotage yourself and you're going to find yourself doing other things because it's easier, because maybe it's more fun. Maybe it's more fun and it's more fulfilling to actually get the house cleaned that day. And you sit down at the end of the night and you didn't actually do your IPAs, right? But like, you had all the time in the world, and then you beat yourself up over it the next day because you're busy at work or you're doing whatever, and you don't have as much time to run your business, and you find yourself in this like vicious cycle of just like beating yourself up over what you're not doing, right? And I feel like we get stuck into this rut, really, of saying in our minds, we're like, I'm doing all the things, I'm doing the Zooms, I'm hopping on the work with me's, I'm in my stories, I'm trying to sell samples and nobody wants one, right? But like, I think sometimes with the question that we need to ask ourselves is like, what are we not doing? What are we not doing? Because Harriet and I were talking about that earlier today. We were like, you know what? Like, sometimes you got to check yourself. Sometimes you need to say, listen, like, I'm not doing all the things that I could do. And I feel like, and we were kind of like in congruence with this, where it's easy, like the longer you're here, the more you start to do like, okay, your non-negotiables, right? So that's one of the questions that Harriet had for her, like your non-negotiables of what is your game plan? Like, what's your game plan for the day? Like the minimum necessary for you to do for your business, for you to feel good, right? So for some people, it's probably a little bit of self-development. For some people, it's making sure that you have some sort of content out for the day, whether it be a post, a live, or a reel, or whatever. And sometimes we kind of stop there, right? And sometimes we're like, I did my bare minimum. it's chaos today. I'm going to be proud of what I did. And some days, you guys, listen, some days that's okay. Some days that's 100% normal and 100% okay. But what's not okay is that you take that same mindset into the next day, and then you give yourself a pass and you give yourself an out, and you're like, oh, it's just a week, right? And then by Friday, you realize, like me last week, I realized on Friday, I was like, I didn't live in my planner this week. Like I did not, it was all empty, right? But the week before, I had it all filled out. Right. But I mean, there's some things that I did good last week. There's some things that I planned ahead of time for, and I was able to keep that bare minimum going. I was able to keep the posts going, even when it was chaos on the road in North Carolina, driving back and forth, like all these things. Right. But sometimes we like stop there and we're like, it's enough. Like, it's fine. Oh, and you just lay down. Right. And what you realize is you're losing like the biggest piece. And sometimes that biggest piece is not just your content. Like did you make any connections? Because when you start feeling like you don't have any samples coming out or anybody buying samples from you, it's because you haven't had new conversations. It's because maybe the people that you're sliding through and you're doing like your interactions on are the same people you talked to last week, right? Like it's not new people. So how can you expect new people to get in your inbox when you're not talking to new people? You're not having those conversations. And it's hard, because sometimes we want to tell ourselves that we're doing everything, but really we're not. If we're honest, I can tell you last week that my connections were down. My connections were down to the point where I had to go back into my IPAs and look at my list and say, Amber, like, you got to like freshen this up to where it doesn't feel so like taxing, right? You got to freshen this up so that when you go to it every day, it's not like heavy, right? And so I put it, I don't know if you guys have ever used the Habit app. I use that Habit app. Things like making sure I'm drinking my water or moving my body or whatever. It's really helpful, especially for eating. If you're doing that. But I started putting, I started putting some of my IPAs on there, and some of the ones, not just all my IPAs because it can be overwhelming, but the ones I know I need to work with on, right? And so I put on there, I put 10 new conversations daily. So each day it refreshes. And as I have a conversation with somebody, it does not have to be products. It does not have to be business. But did I have a meaningful conversation with somebody where it was back and forth and we were going whatever we were talking about, right? And I'll slide it, and you can slide it with each conversation and you can see. And so, for example, I have like 2 today, literally 2 conversations that I have with people, but it's better than I did yesterday because yesterday I had none. Right. And so sometimes it takes that self-check to say, you know what, like, I'm not hot snot over here. Like I'm still figuring it out. And don't be afraid to call yourself out on your own BS. Let's see. Sue, thank you for hopping back on. I think some of the questions that we have was, I'm sorry that you're not like prepared for these, but we want to know, like, Mama 5. Okay. Hi. He's got great hair. I'm just going to say that. I love him. Okay. So I could just like smooch on him all day, but Mama 5, busy wife, all the things. How do you prioritize and make time for your business every single day, even when it's hard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So waking up early is a big one. Big one for me is waking up early because that's when I get a lot of work done. I get my devotional done. I fill my cup. That way I'm not so stressed out during the day and I have that quiet, peaceful time. So really just being disciplined in that area to start out with is a huge one. And if you're a snoozer, put your alarm across the room. Force yourself to get up and take those CAPSIs, even if you got to put them in your bathroom, on your nightstand with some water. Prep yourself at night to wake up early, at least like an hour before your kids wake up, and use that hour to like first pour into yourself, right? And then secondly, prioritize, like Amber said. So in this business, I think we get a little caught up in, the social media marketing aspect, because there's 2 aspects. It's network and it's marketing. And so the network part is just as important as the marketing. And that's why you have to master both before you can be that big leader. Because if you can't master both, it duplicates to your team, right? Your team watches you. So that's something I've mastered over the last, 6 months is, the messenger is the most important thing, right? Getting back to people, sending those messages, sending those follow-ups to your sample customers, sending it to your real customers and to your team, sending those messages out, right? That networking is the main thing. So I would say prioritizing the inbox for me when I'm really busy and I know I'm going to be busy, I'll prioritize the inbox. So that's number one. And then secondly, I do have like a checklist system as well. I know you were just kind of touching on that, but I use my notes on my phone because I'm very like on the go with my kids. And so I just use my notes on my phone. I have a pinned note with like a little checklist bubble thing, and I just copy and paste it every single day. I put the date, I put the Zooms on there every single morning before my kids wake up. That way I'm not like scatterbrained all over the place, like what Zooms I'm going to, what opportunity events I'm leading, what lives I'm going to do with someone else. You should be partnering with your sideline sisters doing lives together. So I have everything there in one place. My happy birthdays, my go live, share a reel, share a TikTok, and it's a checkoff list. So then by the end of the night, if I'm, if I had a hard day or a busy day with the 5 kids and I have some of my checklist left, I know exactly what I have to do in that last, 30 minutes of my day or whatnot. I do try to get very intentional. Like when my husband is home, I put my phone away. And I know that's hard to do when you already feel like you're short on time, but trust me when I say it gives you more time, because when your husband supports you, that's when he's going to automatically, like on his day off, be like, babe, go to Starbucks and work, or babe, I got the kids, you go do your live. That's where you're going to exchange like your exchange vows. That's where you're going to, partner with each other. So it's really important to just hone in on that time you do have, and no scrolling, like stop scrolling. Like if you can't handle interactions, don't do interactions right now. Okay. You have to first master, again, just conversations and posting. And that's something I had to learn. And, we all kind of fail forward. And even being like the type of leader, whatever that I am, is just like, I had to learn that even still this year. So I recommend learning it early, because again, your journey doesn't have to take you 4.5 years like it took me if you choose to master these skills now, which is posting automatically in the morning and then doing all your messages, all your follow-ups with your team and all the things I just mentioned. So that's kind of how I handle being a busy mom, is just those systems. And I know when I worked, same thing. I just had those little tiny cracks in my day. You know what I mean? Like a literal 10-minute break, you can knock out so many follow-ups and so many conversations. 10-minute breaks, I would go straight to my inbox. It would be knock out my inbox, because that was always a hard one for me, because it was just like, it's kind of exhausting. You're talking to people about, what kind of ice cream their kid loves. Like it's kind of random and exhausting, but you have to do it, because that is where you build the friendships and the relationships. That's where people build trust, is in the inbox. And that's where they eventually come to order from you, right? People that are ordering from me today, I've been talking to small talk for 3 years. You know what I mean? It's just, that's how this industry works, is you got to build that relationship first. So I hope that kind of answered it.
It did. And I think that you hit the nail on the head by saying prioritizing, because some things you just kind of like don't realize you're actually doing it. And this is something I'm just going to call myself out on last night. Okay. On our Bible study. Okay. I caught myself. Listen, Tony Robbins says, you know how when you go to the gym and you like feel really good after you go to the gym, it's because your endorphins are going. Okay. You have basically like launched your feel good chemicals. So you've got serotonin, dopamine, all these things, right? When you are on social media and you see a like, a comment, or anything on your social media, it actually literally releases dopamine in your brain. And it's an addicting habit, right? And it's something that we don't realize we're doing. There's so many of us who are like, I'm guilty of scrolling. Listen, we are all guilty of scrolling. The trick is telling yourself that, hey, I'm scrolling. I need to figure it out, right? Because that's when you start running into arguments with your spouse of being on your phone all day and all these things. And then you have resentment for your business because you didn't get anything done today, because you didn't prioritize what you were doing on phone. I literally caught myself last night on Bible study. I was literally scrolling. I had to turn my phone. I turned it off. I was like, I literally cannot do this. I have got to, like, what are you doing? Right. And then I'm apologizing to God. Right. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like that's terrible. Right. But it's like, you don't realize you're doing it. And it's so bad. But like, we have to be humble enough to know that like, you don't have it all figured out yet. And that's okay. And then day. Let's see. Another question I was going to ask you is, when did you decide, or do you remember when, like, did you have a moment per se of when you were like, I'm all in? Like, I'm not just going to play with this anymore. I'm not just going to like post my products on my stories. I'm like going to take myself seriously. I'm going to take this business model seriously, and I'm going to show up a little bit different. Did you have a moment like that?
I did. Yeah, I did. I had to have a come to Jesus moment. And I mean, if you're spiritual at all, you'll know that like you need to connect to, God, and you need to have that realization that one, you are worthy of being a leader, and two, that you are like purposely positioned. You're divinely positioned here, which I can guarantee all of you are. Listen, there's no chance. It's not like the little tiny chance that by the billions of people on social media, you found Amber or you found me. It's just, it's not all by chance. Like this is on purpose for a purpose. And this business is beautiful because you get to be 100% yourself. You get to earn residual income. You get to live like a boss. Like there's so many reasons why this is divine for you. And you have to settle that within yourself and God, because without that settling, you're not going to be all in. You're going to tell yourself you're all in, you're going to show up, but you're going to show up. People can see it through you. Like, it's like they catch a vibe. You know what I mean? Like they can see when you're just like hopping on stories. Hey guys, I'm doing my 3 steps, like, or like, hey guys, I have something that's going to change your life, help you live longer till you're 100 years old. Like that's my goal. I want to live till I'm 100 years old and see my babies grow up. I want to provide for my babies. My baby's going to be 16 in 2 years. I want to get her a car. So I'm out here promoting vitamins that are going to change your life. This is going to help you feel so good. That way your vitamins aren't sitting on the countertop. See how the difference in the vibe is like, I'm confident in my product. I'm confident that I'm positioned here by God. So I think it's really important to settle that within yourself and really go all in. I'm telling you, when I did go all in is when things really started picking up and escalating with my business. People started joining my team and taking me serious. Also, a leader poured life into me. I don't know if you guys know Megan. I'm sure you do. She's a gem. But Megan, we were hanging out. We're both in California. And she just started pouring life into me, And so if you need someone to pour life into you, to remind you who you are and what you're capable of, reach out to somebody. We are all here for that, Reach out to Amber. If you're scared to reach out to Amber, reach out to me. If you're scared to reach out to me, reach out to someone you feel comfortable to. Lynn, someone. Katie, ask them, be like, I'm discouraged. Can you please, like, I don't feel like I can be a leader, and just have them pour that life into you, because I'm telling you, anyone is capable. It is a learning process and it is scary, but it's fun at the same time. It's amazing. It's rewarding. It feels great. I go to bed every night. I feel good. I'm like, I just shared this product opportunity to the world. I don't care who wants it. Like I did good today. I encouraged my team today. Like I inspired them. I feel good. And so that's how you guys should feel too. You should wake up with so much passion, just so excited for doing what you're doing. And yeah, that's my answer to that one.
Thank you. Did you ever, I know the answer to this one, but can you share, because I know that we talked a little bit over text today, about how I think a lot of us are going through hard times, like not just business, but like it's kind of like really heavy in the world right now. And there's a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of discouragement. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of emotionally draining things that could completely like pull us, right? But did you ever have a moment where you maybe had to change things a little bit, or not put so much pressure on your business because maybe you needed to go back to work, or any kind of season like that you could touch on? Because I know that we have a couple people in here that, have certain situations going on where it's like, maybe they get a little discouraged in their business because of X, Y, or Z that's going on. And I think a lot of the times we put so much pressure on our business to be like the end all be all, to be like the fix it. Can you touch on that at all a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, it's really important to work this as an extra stream of income until, and Katie, this is what Katie was joking, but she's kind of serious. Until you've saved 2 years of rent or mortgage, don't quit your job. And she's serious. Like when I joined Katie 4 years ago, she was still working a job. She was working at her mom's boutique. So when I tell you she's serious, like doesn't matter how much you're making until you have some money saved and you are really set and like in your leadership and things, don't quit your job. And I learned this really early on in my journey. So it hasn't really affected me since then. In fact, I'm going to go back to work soon. It's okay. I'm not tripping. Like, I'm not like all, oh, I'm losing my purpose or like, oh, I'm not a leader anymore. Like, no, I don't look at it as that. I know the economy is hard right now. It's hitting everyone hard, including us. And period, I have to go back. I mean, our grocery hauls are $400 every 2 weeks. That's crazy. Like it's just times are crazy and it's okay. I'm not discouraged. I'm just going to continue on my journey the way I always have. But the thing is like, and two, like I'm careful with my wording on social media because I have been home with my babies for 17 months, but I don't sit here and like get on social and like, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, or, you know, network marketing retired me, or even though last year I made the same as what I made as a nurse, I tried not to say it so much. And I know I had to catch myself a few times because I wanted to say it, but it's just like, I didn't want to like solidify that because I didn't want to have to turn around and then like apologize or then like change my whole narrative of like, okay, well, I'm going back to work now. And then people wondering like what's going on. So even though people kind of assume already that I've retired myself through network marketing, it's still fine. Like I put in my post that I'm a nurse, that I'm this and that. So I just recommend include all of your fives in your posts, in your stories, in your opportunity stuff. Talk about what you do as a regular human. People relate to that and they actually like it a lot. Like I said, when you are that retired network marketer one day, which all of you can be, when you're that mommy millionaire one day, the leaders will tell you it's hard for them to post now because they can't like relate to people as much. Like you see Amber and her scrubs, people relate to that. And that's why they're in her inbox and reaching out to her. So just keep it as an extra stream, guys. And like I said, in the beginning, I did that. I earned that 4K bonus. I quit my job. I kid you not. I was like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm going to go 12K next month. Like, I don't know what was going through my brain. And me and my husband ended up separating for a summer, fighting over finances. And that's when I learned right then and there at the beginning of my journey with Lavelle, okay, we're not going to do that again. We're not going to earn a bonus and quit our job and pretend like this is the end solution. Like we're not going to do that. And yeah, I put myself out there on social media and everything. So that's why this time around I was really careful. And so I kind of tell people, you know, I go through seasons and ups and downs, and I go to sometimes Brandon, my husband, is home with the kids, and sometimes I work. Sometimes he's working and I'm home with the kids. And I tell people, you know, we go back and forth. That's kind of how I explain it to my social media and to my potentials, is that we just go back and forth and people don't need to know any more details than that. I don't have to tell them like, oh, we're struggling financially. Like I can just say like, we like to switch it up or whatever it is. Some people, top leaders, even like to work still, right? We have one on our tribe. What's her name? Casey, she's on Lindsay's downline. She's an 80K leader who still works a full-time job. She loves her job. She talks about it all the time, how much she loves her job. She is maintaining 80K. That girl is making bank. Okay. She earned an 80K bonus last year. She continued to work her job throughout the whole time. She still works her job. She talks about how like she needs a break from the kids and all these things. Guys, that's just real life. It's okay. It's ups and downs. You don't have to make it like the end all. Like it's okay if this is just an extra stream of income for you. Yes, Karen, there you go. So, and that's relatable to people. People can be like, okay, you know, I can still work my job and do this. They actually like that. So again, it happens at different times for different people. Your success is going to come at different times. There's a luck factor to it. Sometimes you're going to get lucky. Someone's going to join your team. Sometimes you're not, and that's okay. It's going to take a little bit longer. But you know, stick and stay, and eventually you'll get paid.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your night to pour into us. The last question that I have for you, unless anybody else has another one, did I cover them all? I think we covered, like, you guys wanted to know about busy schedule. Oh, non-negotiables. Okay, that's one. Do you have non-negotiables for your business? And what are they?
I do. Yeah. So non-negotiable would be self-development, the inbox, answering everyone back in the inbox, and posting. If I can't post a product or an opportunity post, I make sure I get a lifestyle post out. Don't care if it's a picture of my baby and I'm just like, how cute is my baby, or your dog, or your kitchen, or your spouse, whatever it is, get that post out every single day, because the algorithm doesn't like it when you miss it. Of course, I take Sundays off. That's a non-negotiable for me too, because it fills my cup. I get to spend time with my family. I'm a human outside of network marketing. I like my leaders to do that too. I want my team to see that. I want my social media to see that, because it's a good example and it's something that can keep you going through the years, right? I've been here 4.5 years, and that's how I've handled my stress. Is I take a day off, I rest and recharge. I get off my phone. Literally, I don't post anything, but other than that, on my regular days, I post every day. I go live pretty much every day. I go live every day. I know that's challenging for some of you. And I know when you hear it, you're like, wow, but that's why I say you have to build right now those consistency skills, right? Go live every day. I try to share a reel every day and a TikTok. So I do have a list, and I can, Amber, shoot that over to you after this. That way, maybe you send it to your team chat. But I do have a list that I try to conquer every single day. Do I miss the mark? Yeah, I do. I miss the mark often, but I try to finish that list. And then I think you asked about resources as well.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you like some of my resources. So first one, I'm always looking if Katie went live in the team page, or if Katie has a new podcast, just because she's my jam and like she's what keeps me going and she's my upline. So that's one. And then I'll check out, Lynn's YouTube, because she puts up her trainings in there all the time. I'm big on YouTube. You don't have YouTube yet, download the YouTube app. It is so helpful. Go to YouTube. And then I like to listen to Eric Worre. He still has a lot of new stuff. He has a lot of old stuff too, but he has a lot of new stuff. I like Robert Kiyosaki. I like Jessie Lee, Stormy, Stormy. I like Mommy Millionaire, Jim Rohn, Darren Kidd, Gary Vee. These are all people that you can type into YouTube and kind of get some ideas from them. Learn from who went before you, just like how you guys are doing now. I'm so proud of you guys. But learn from who went before you, whoever you want to emanate, whatever leadership style you like. Maybe you like the hustle culture. I don't know. Then go follow a leader that does that. You know what I mean? But for me, I love how Katie leads, because she leads in a way like she's never had to tell me to go post. She's never wanted to. She will literally leave you on red if you're complaining, or if it just sounds like you just want just certain things. And I love that about her, honestly, because she builds leaders. She doesn't build just followers or people that you have to drag. You should never have to drag in this business. That's not your job. Your job is to present and recruit. Get out there, present this opportunity, and recruit people into your business. That first month is so important. So when you do recruit someone, spend that first month every day messaging them, calling them, doing Zooms with them, right? When you get in face-to-face, it's very powerful, especially with potentials. But in that first month, it's so important to just kind of baby them in a way. But then after that, it's like, okay, now you're on your own, you're self-motivated. And then of course, you're always there for questions. You're always there for phone calls. My whole team has my number. They know they can call me anytime. You should always be there for them, but to chase and to drag is just not our job. And that's something we have to realize within this industry. You might be wasting time doing that. You might be wasting time always talking to the same people who don't even want this. I had to realize that. I have 15 teammates who have not told me they're done, but just I don't know, they're just in limbo, And so for those ones, it's I love them. I watch their stories. I love their stories. Sometimes I'll respond, oh, your baby's so cute, because I do. I love them. I love their family, but I'm not going to sit here and message them every day. Hey, how can I help you? Why aren't you posting? All these things that sometimes we waste time with. It's all about bringing in that new. So I think Kristen had a question, and that's all my answer for the resources. So let's see this question. When you go live, is it always business products or regular life? It's a combination. sometimes I'll do like get ready with me. So I'll do like makeup, but then I'm still talking about the opportunity in between. It's kind of like it's kind of like bait. That sounds bad, but like because when I do my makeup live, I'll have like 10 to 15 viewers watching. So I use that time to talk about the opportunity because like, hey, why not? You're sitting there watching anyway. Like I have nothing else to talk about. That Thrive is my life. So I'll kind of do that. Or I have had times like, if you're busy, once again, and you need to just get a post out. Let's say you're out and about hiking with your family, of course, talk to your husband first, but like, babe, is it okay if I hit the live button really quick? Go live, show them the landscape, show them where you're at, the amusement park, the, whatever weekend activity you're doing, the birthday party, the wedding, whatever it is. Just hit that live button real quick and do like a quick 5-minute live and just be like, hey guys, isn't it so beautiful here? Like, wow, look at this. And that's your live for the day. So it's really simple. You just hit that live button and it's kind of like riding a bike. The more you do it, the more comfortable you are. Going live should feel like breathing, you guys. I did a training with Brittany about going live recently. Really good. Check out Brittany's YouTube because it's really good. And it's just so many tips on going live.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to go check that out. And I still haven't seen the longevity one. I have to watch that too. There's so many trainings that I need to catch up on, but utilize your resources, you guys. Our team page, the Lionhearted page is literally phenomenal. You use that little search tool and find anything and everything you want. If there's ever anything I'm struggling with, leadership, recruiting, samples, whatever, I always go to that. I'll go to YouTube too, but I go to that and I'm just like, let me find like Katie circa 2018, right? And I'll just listen, right? And that might be my self-development for the day. Before we hop off here, I just want to ask you just like heart to heart, like what's your biggest vision for this business?
Yeah, my biggest vision, I want to own like pregnancy centers. I want to own like birth centers. I want to be in birth work that's outside of nursing. I'm more holistic. I think a lot of us are because we're in a natural health business. And it's really my burning desire to help other teen moms and however which way I can do that. So I'm starting out really slow, right? Because this business starts out slow too. So like the little income I'm earning, I'm going to use to get my placenta certification and start encapsulating placentas and doing it for free for teen moms. That's how I'm using this business. And it's so important that you use that little income. I know it's little at first, but you have to use it impactful. Save it in the cloud office for a month, let it add up to $100 and take that $100 and invest it in something that you really interest in. Because again, this goes with your life passions. That's why we're in the best industry, you guys. I'm telling you, I'm not just blowing smoke. Like none of you make me a dime. I have no reason to blow smoke for you. Like this business changes lives. Like seriously, like you can do huge things here. Like I can't believe the things I've done so far. And I'm no one special to have done them. It's just time and consistency. And once you settle your mind on that, you'll get it. You're going to get it. It's going to come to you. It will all come to you. Just let yourself grow. And I want you guys to say something with me. So just go ahead and repeat this after me. So we're going to say, I have time.
I have time.
Yes. Thank you. I'm having fun.
I have time.
Yeah. I'm having fun.
I'm having fun.
Yeah. I love the journey.
I love the journey.
I love the journey.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're having fun. You're loving the journey. You're making a little bit here and there. That's okay. Without this, you wouldn't be making nothing. And eventually, guys, you're going to get there. We all will. And it's just a matter of time. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Thank you so much for taking your time to pour into us tonight. Does anybody else have any other questions you want to ask before we hop off here? I love you guys so much. Sue, definitely share that list with me so that we can kind of look at it and see if there's any areas that maybe we need to tweak. But I love you all so much. Everybody go enjoy the rest of your night. Good night. Thank you, Sue.
Bye.